thanks everybody for coming out tonight. The brief I've been given is to explain about man-to-man defence and some drills and how you can teach man-to-man defence. As Greg said, you know, it's a rule now in under 12s that you can't play a zone. This is the third clinic that I've done on this for under 12 coaches. I did one over at East Bentley and another one at Werribee on Sunday. So I'm kind of getting a bit of a hang of an idea of some of the questions that are likely to come out. Most of the questions have been about the rules associated with it, rather than actually teaching man-to-man or zone. So I'll try and address some of the, as I understand the rules. Okay, you can play full court pressing defences still. You know, whether that be a zone full court press or a man-to-man full court press. The whole idea of the rule is to get teams out of, you know, standing around the key, straight-legged, playing a 2-1-2 zone. So you can still get up the floor and do whatever you like in a full court or even a half court scenario. But when it collapses back, you need to then play man-to-man. If on game night you're playing somebody that you suspect is playing a zone, there's not really too much you can do about it at the time. What you need to do, and the process that's been decided upon at the you know, the junior council level, is that you then lodge a complaint about it to your delegate. If you can gather some information, some evidence, you know, like say you think someone's playing a zone, pull out your camera phone and maybe videotape it as evidence, but there's nothing you can do about it on the night. The referees aren't responsible for policing it. The score bench people aren't responsible for policing it. At the end of the day, it just comes down to the individual integrity or commitment of the coaches to understand that if you're going to coach under 12s, that it's a requirement to not play zone defence. If you do lodge a complaint and it's investigated and that coach is found out to have played a bit of zone, I think they get a warning, and then there's a process of if they do it again, there's quite significant fines that are allocated to the club if a coach continues to play a zone defence. Okay, so that's the process. Again, you can't do anything about it on the night. You can't go up and smack the other coach in the mouth if you think they're playing a zone, or no point getting an argument with them about it. You just got to fight your way through it, and hopefully everybody will play in the spirit of the rule, and it won't be a problem. I'll be surprised if that happens, but you know, that's the process. So are there any other questions, or any questions just about the rule or the expectations from a rule perspective? And I hope I can answer them.
If you're guarding against an inbound play, you're allowed to set up in a zone.
In a half court, you mean, underneath the basket?
Yeah, they're trying to score in our basket.
I would say no. I would say you have to play man-to-man. Again, not certain, but anything around that keyway would need to be man-to-man.
That's right, Ian.
Yep. There you go.
Hey Ian, is this just EDJBA or Basketball Victoria?
The BJBL rule that was brought in by the delegates of the association. So it's not Basketball Victoria. Basketball Victoria helping and do the coaching. It's the BJBL rule that was introduced a couple of months ago at a delegates meeting.
So you're the association that you coach for and represent, unanimously, I believe, voted in support of this. So every association has agreed this is the way they want to go about it. I would expect that it then becomes an expectation when you're coaching and representing that association that you follow the I guess the policies that they've agreed that they want to have with under 12s. Certainly from my point of view as a coach, you know, with my time at the AIS, and I guess I've had a long history with player development. Some of you would be old enough to remember I used to be the Director of Coaching for Victoria many years ago. So I've been involved with player development side of the sport pretty well my whole coaching career. And there's no question that by playing man-to-man defence at the younger age groups, you produce better offensive and defensive players, okay, and a better skill package player. There's no question that a zone defence is still a very appropriate tactic to have in basketball. Probably the time that you'd want to be introducing it, though, is more probably the under-16 age group would be a good time from a player development point of view to introduce zone defences. When players have a very good understanding of man-to-man principles, then it's far easier to introduce a good zone, as opposed to getting an under-16 player who's played nothing but zone defence their whole life and then trying to teach them man-to-man concepts is a bit more challenging. And certainly under-16s, under-18s, and kids are trying to make state teams, and kids who haven't had a good understanding of man-to-man defence, I think it would be harder for them to make a state team, because at that level it's much more difficult to play a zone because everybody can shoot it from out here. So from a player development point of view, I support the concept. Yes?
Yeah, I'm with the EDJBA, Nunawat Vikings, and we've instigated a directive that we only play man on man. It's a difficult thing to do one out as a club.
Yep.
If I report back to my coaches, what in your mind would be the single most compelling reason? And we've listed athleticism, peripheral vision, just
for playing man-to-man.
For playing man-to-man as opposed to the zone.
Player development.
Most compelling.
Yeah, player development. You know, if your club is trying to produce, have a philosophically, you want your under-14s to be a bit better than your under-12s, your under-16s a bit better than your under-14s, and have a pathway where at the end of it, under-18s, under-20s, you've got some pretty well-rounded basketball players. That would be, the support for just player development, because it develops all aspects of the game are improved through one-on-one, two-on-two, three-on-three play, which is essentially man-to-man play. Okay. All right. So that's the technical, the rule side of it. Again, my job is to talk about man-to-man defence and how to coach man-to-man defence, and I'll do my best. Firstly, is anybody, and don't be shy with this, has anybody got no idea what man-to-man defence is? Has everyone got a pretty good understanding? All right, thank God. I had one the other day, said no idea, and it kind of threw me a little bit, because then, all right, well, anyway. All right, so the way we're going to work through this is we're going to talk about defence in what I refer to as the quarter court. So defending this basket here in a quarter court, situation. Then we're going to extend it out to half court and full court, and look at the principles of playing full court man-to-man defence and half court man-to-man defence. There's two aspects that you need to think about when you talk about man-to-man defence. Either players are guarding someone who has the ball, or they're guarding someone who doesn't have the ball. There's no other scenarios that occur. So either you've got someone who's got the ball, or you're guarding someone who doesn't have the ball. The first situation we're going to look at is guarding someone who does have the ball. Okay? You've got a ball, come out here. All right, so we're talking about this guy's getting ready to attack this basket here. He's just caught it, and now I'm going to defend him. Okay? There's three things that he can do once he catches the ball. He can pass it, he can dribble it, or he can shoot it. Okay, and so a good man-to-man defensive player needs to be ready to defend those three things. Okay, now if he hasn't used his dribble, you need to play an appropriate distance away from him, where when he starts to dribble, you have a chance of being able to stop him getting to the basket. Okay, so what that distance is generally, and again, a lot of these things I'll talk about, and I'll keep referring to this, you need to make up your own mind on some of these things. There's no right or wrong. There's general guidelines, but you'll find as I talk, I'll refer back often that it gets back to your own personal philosophy, what you want to coach as a coach. Okay, so, generally you defend the pass and the shot with your hands. Okay, that's how you can test those things. You defend the dribble with your feet. Okay, and how you move your feet is going to determine whether or not you can do a decent job from a on-ball defensive situation. Now, some coaches, when they talk about defending the dribble, believe that you should push players towards the baseline, so overplay the middle and channel players towards the baseline. Some coaches believe that you should channel the ball towards the middle. Okay, probably the majority would say towards the baseline, but some, like Guy Malloy, who won a silver medal with the under-17 national men's team, he philosophically pushes it towards the middle. Some coaches just believe that you should just try and keep the guy in front of you, irrespective of whether you're not going to try and push them either one way or another, but you're going to try and keep them in front of you. And once they start bouncing the ball, the thing that you're trying to stop from a man-to-man perspective is them being able to get to the basket and score. So if he starts at, what's your name, mate?
Keenan.
Keenan? It's a bit hard to say, Keenan.
Yeah.
Keenan, all right, good. All right, if he starts bouncing the ball this way and I can slide with him and stop him getting past me and turning the corner to the basket and he picks the ball up, that's pretty good man-to-man defense, okay? He hasn't been able to get by me and attack the basket. You know, I can't stop him from moving forward. I can't stop him from going in any particular direction. What I've got to try and do is make sure that he doesn't get to a point where he can get by me. So if I was here and he started to go and he goes this way and he gets by me and now I'm chasing him, well, that would be obviously pretty ordinary man-to-man defense. Okay, so and the same thing if he was coming to the middle here, if I can slide with him and stop him from turning the corner and being able to attack the basket and just maintain a distance of touch distance away and he keeps going this way, again, that's pretty good defense. Okay, of not allowing him to get by me. Now, the most significant part of me being able to do that is how I move my feet. Okay, and you know, we did a lot of work on this at the AIS in the three years that I was there, trying to find the best way to start from a defensive situation. The great thing about working at the AIS is you've got all these sports scientists across the road and skill acquisition experts who've got all their own, you know, it's their thing to look into how people move, the science of movement. And we had a long discussion about if I'm guarding a player, because traditional coaching in basketball has been that players should get down low and wide, and the lower you are, the better. And if he was to go this way, the footwork that we would coach would be to lift this foot, push and step and slide with it. Okay? That's the traditional way of coaching how you start in a man-to-man situation. We went through and looked at a lot of videotape of players and how they move, and what we found was that players who start low and wide, it doesn't matter how much you drill it without in a 1-on-0 situation, when you then put them in a competitive situation, now they really have to actually do it. So from this position here, the first movement was just about always to move this foot first and then start to move, because when they were down low and wide like this, it's pretty well impossible to really move efficiently. Okay, and this was the argument from our skill acquisition guys, was they would be better off starting with their feet a bit closer together so that they've got something to push off. The other thing that we found with the better defenders was that they didn't push and step, instead they pushed off 2 feet at the start. Okay, and then they would slide, but it was very much, so I'm guarding somebody here, they'd be in a position like this and they'd push off 2 and then slide. If it was a fake, they'd push off 2, push back. If it was a fake back this way, it was very much like a boxer, you know, like feet wide apart, pushing off like this. If you're watching netballers, the good netball defenders are usually bouncing at the start and pushing off 2 feet. And so we started teaching our AIS boys that concept of when you're playing man-to-man on the ball, of just bouncing and pushing off 2 feet at the start, and we found they were significantly better than what they were previously. So that's what we now coach at the AIS. No, we don't. I'm not there anymore. They might still do that. But by bouncing at the start, pushing off 2 feet at the start, we found that they could get a quicker start and then could get into a slide and pushing situation much more efficiently than doing that at the start. Okay? And it's one of those things that you need to make up your own mind with. I've been coaching for a very long time, and I've only been teaching this for a year, you know, so who knows whether it's right or wrong now. But that's what we now teach, so he catches the ball, I want to be able to guard him and stop him from getting in front of me. My initial stance would be bouncing, putting pressure on the ball with my hands. When he passes the ball, I would then get into a good off-ball situation that we'll talk about in a second. But by bouncing and pushing off 2 feet, you can generally get off to a pretty quick start, which makes it harder for the offensive player now to get past you. All right? The other thing that I'm getting tired, losing my breath. The other thing that we found with guarding in an on-ball situation was the use of an arm bar, okay, and how you can utilise an arm bar to give you an advantage from a defensive point of view. Keenan? All right. If the basket was behind me and Keenan started to go past me, when would this be a foul with my inside hand here? When would that be a foul? Who can tell me when that's a foul?
Outside the cylinder.
Outside the cylinder? Any other ideas? When is it a foul? That's it. That's exactly it. When the ref calls it, it's a foul. Okay? If the ref doesn't call it, it's not a foul. Okay? And and it's the same with most of the rules of the game. If I go and set a screen on somebody, the rule says I can stand as close as I like, short of contact if he can see me. If I'm behind him, I'm supposed to give him a step and it's time and distance, but in fact, I can come up and really make good contact with him. All right, and it's between doing that or really pushing him hard, somewhere in between there is when a referee is going to call a foul. Okay, so it's what you can get away with to a certain degree. And I'm not in any way suggesting you should foul, but what I'm saying is the arm bar is something that can really help a defensive player maintain distance away from the offense, where they can put pressure on the player and use their forward momentum to help with their backwards momentum. So if he starts to go this way, and I just hit him once with an inside arm bar, that has there's two advantages there. One is me being able to bounce off him a little bit. The one is just holding him up a little bit. And again, our best defenders, like Owen Odygy, who plays for the Tigers now, he's really an awesome on-ball defender. If he ever gets on the court, you'll see it. But he really uses that inside arm bar well. He never leaves it on there, but he gets what we call hits, hip hits, where he'll hit with an open back of the hand. That's far less likely to be called a foul than if you put your hand on what they call hand checking. You put your hand on and leave it there, that's definitely going to be called a foul. Okay, but if you use the open back of your hand and start going this way and just use that arm bar and bounce off, often that buys you time and makes it a bit more difficult for the offense, which is, we're talking about the defense tonight. So in this, guarding an on-ball player who starts to drive past you, your footwork is important, but then the use of that arm bar is also important in being able to maintain a position of keeping that guy in front of them. All right? And like I said, so the feet guard the dribble penetration, the hands are there making it difficult to shoot, to pass or shoot. Okay? So that's on ball. Now, once he does one of those three things, if he was to shoot it, what I would do when he shot it would be I would step in and block him out. And again, there's a lot of different philosophies on how you block out. The important thing is that you block out, you know, that the player shoots it and the defender now doesn't just turn and go in and start trying to find the ball, because now I give him this much space to run in and try and get the ball as well. Whereas if he shoots it and now I block him out, well, now he's got this much space and I've got all the space in front of us, so I've got much more chance of coming up with the ball. Okay? If he passes the ball, I would jump in the direction of the pass, and that'll put me in a good off-ball defensive position, and we'll go over off-ball defense in a second. But if he was to pass it this way, off 2 feet, I'd jump towards the ball, and that gets me in a pretty good position. If he was to pass it this way, again, I'd jump towards the ball. All right? Now remember, that's when he can do the triple threat, pass, dribble or shoot. Now if he catches it and takes one bounce and picks it up, well, now he can't dribble anymore, so I don't have to worry about this buffer zone anymore because he can't go anywhere now. So now I can crawl up into him and put a lot of pressure on and really make it more difficult for him to pass the ball. Okay, so again, you know, philosophically, some coaches really want their players to really crawl up and put pressure on. Some might be happy for you still to stay off. That's one of the things that that you need to decide. Okay, as you need to decide about whether you're going to channel the ball towards the baseline, channel it towards the middle, just keep them in front of you. In under 12s, I think I'd be trying to channel players onto their weaker hand, okay, because there's usually a big difference between how good kids can bounce it with their strong hand and their weak hand. So as a right-hander, you're a right-hander? As a right-hander, I'd be guarding him over here like this and making him use his left hand, okay? In a full court situation now where he's just caught the ball and he's going to advance the ball up the court, the other things that you need to keep in mind with this is now there's a lot more space that you can play that comes into play here, and again, you need to decide philosophically what you want to coach. Some coaches will want the ball handler just channeled down one side, so you start dribbling so just keeping the ball, try and come to the middle now. Cut them off, keeping them on one side of the floor so they don't have the use of the full court. All right, so that's channeling. Another thing that you might want to do is put a lot of pressure on up the floor and really try and force him into making ball handling errors. So now instead of playing back like this, I'm going to get up really tight on him and try and force him to change direction. Okay, now we'll talk about what the off-ball defenders can do in that situation. But what comes into play when you're putting a lot of pressure up the floor is what we call slide, run, slide. So I'll be up here, pressure him, just start sliding, but now he starts to turn the corner on me. I start to lose control. So now I need to run and get back in front of him and start bouncing and working. Go this way again. Gets past me again. Run, get back in front. So we refer to that as slide, run, slide. Because of the distance they are away from the basket, in a full court situation, often you can get up and put more pressure on and try and force them into mistakes, because at the particularly under 12 level, the ball handling usually isn't that great. So full court man-to-man pressure is a pretty good tactic as well. And we'll talk about the off-ball stuff in a second with that. All right, so you can channel, you can pressure, but the general principle of trying to stay between them and the basket, your bum facing the basket, is pretty consistent. Same thing here. He's going this way, bum facing the basket, just trying to keep him in front of me, if that's what you decide you want to do. All right. So any questions on ball defence?
When do you prefer them to be looking to navel, hips, ball?
Again, that's one of those things that people argue about. I've never found it to be a big issue. You know, like some players like to watch the ball, some like to watch their hips. Some, you know, I've never found it to be a problem. You know, usually you want to watch everything really, and sometimes it depends on how far up the court they are. Depends on a lot of things. So I think that's one of the things you decide. You know, you can decide in your own logic of that. I think the bigger decisions are what you're going to do about left or right, yeah, whatever you want. Okay, they're looking in that general area. They should be peripheral vision is a big thing on basketball. They should be looking at all those things really. The other thing I was going to say with this is it's left me. I had something to say there, Keenan. What do you think it might have been?
I have no idea.
No idea. You're like me. You got no idea. Okay. Overplaying one side or other. Oh, it'll come back to me. Any other questions on ball defence? Yep.
And do you teach one on the ball, one in the passing lane, both up?
Whatever you want. You know, like it depends on the scenario. Because you know here, I would tip. Just face that way. He's out of shooting range now, so he's less likely to be able to shoot it here. Where do I teach? Where do you put your hands? One hand up, one hand down. It really depends on the scenario. Like someone close to the basket, you're going to have hands more up. Traditionally, when you talk about this situation here, when they're in shooting range and they're a triple threat, is to have one hand mirroring the ball and what we call a dig hand down low here. So if he puts it up and now brings it down, you've got a chance at getting it out with that dig hand. Okay, but again, I think that's one of the things that that you can decide what you want to do. I don't think there's a wrong with that. Some coaches will teach if he lifts it up above his head, crawl right up into him because now it's really difficult for him to bring it down. Okay, I think one of the things that, again, like don't get too deep with under 12s, but most players are right-handed. And so the players that I've coached over the years have been really good at block shots predominantly with their left hand. Because if he's going up to shoot it here, my left hand is on that side of his body and has a much better chance of getting to the ball than if I come across with my right hand. Okay? So what I've always taught guys is to carry that left hand up or go after shots with their left hand. Because even if he's giving me a shot fake and I go after it with the left hand, I can still maintain my balance here. Whereas if I go after it with my right hand, that generally brings the right side of my body forward, and I'm more susceptible to drives and stuff. If they're shooting it left-handed, then you go after it with your right hand. But my observations over a long time is the great shot blockers generally block most of their shots with their left hand because they're usually blocking right-handed shooters. All right, yep.
You spoke about the buffer on man-on-man ball. How far back are these players sort of allowed to go until they're looking at picking up space rather than a player? I mean, if they can't play a zone, coaches will tell an individual player to just step off him because he can't shoot.
Yeah, and that's, it gets back to that spirit of the game thing. But, I've had guys who have played for me who have been poor shooters. So even at the NBL level, they'll guard them back here like this. Everyone watched Adelaide play Cairns the other night. Mitch Creek hit 2 big three-pointers. Like the scouting report on Mitch Creek would be let him shoot threes because he doesn't, so they guard him like this. But now he goes ding-ding and wins the game for him. So maybe the next time people guard Mitch, they guard him a bit closer. But that's the scouting reporting him. So as you get to higher levels, if they're a non-shooter, people will play them further away. If there's someone who can really shoot the ball well, they'll play them tighter. As far as how you try and...
These are 9 and 10-year-old kids. None of them can shoot a three-pointer the right way.
Yeah.
I mean, we're teaching a team not to play a zone. But if one player on a team is just going to be able to drive it through, then their coach will just tell that player to step back and just that one player play a zone. So how far do we take the zone aspect of this? I don't know. Like again, if I was coaching that team, I'd be trying to get all my players to be able to play good on-ball defence, irrespective of where the one guy was carving us up. I'd be trying to find a way of defending that within the spirit of the rules. So okay, even though I said foul and try and get away with it before. Sorry? If occur in a game, is that something we could have a look at?
Yeah, I think it's again. I don't know who the judge and jury are on deciding whether they're in a zone or not. Again, to me, it just comes back to the spirit of the rules. If I'm guarding this guy here and I'm standing back here like this, claiming to be guarding him, I think you'd have a fair case to say, well, that's a zone. You're not guarding him at all. Okay, obviously it depends what's happening with the other 4 players running around the court at the same time as well. But I think videotaped evidence of that would be something you could argue.
How does that then account for split line defence?
Well, we'll get onto that. We'll talk about off-ball defence now. All right, we all good with the on-ball stuff? All right, give me a blackout guard and this guy here, blackout here, and a red and a black over there on the wing. That's it. And 2 skins out here. Look at them rush to be a skin. All right. So, you 2 come over here now, sorry. Some principles. I'm still waiting on 2 skins. Yeah, here you go, Hercules. You're all right. You're guarding him. You're a skin. Let's go. Beautiful. In fact, he's your teammate. You're not guarding him. You 2 just wait out the top there. When we talk about off-ball defence, there's some imaginary lines that come into play. Okay, the general principle for being in good position off the ball is to be in what we call a defensive triangle. Okay, and the 3 points of the triangle relate to the off-ball defender being 1 point of the triangle, the ball being another point of the triangle, and their player they're guarding being another point of the triangle. So right now this guy would be in what I would call a defensive triangle. Okay, now general principles that, or general other things that come into play that you need to think about is the line between the ball and the basket. There's an imaginary line between the ball and the basket. So no matter where the ball is on the court, you could draw a straight line to the basket. Okay, that's another point of reference when we start coaching man-to-man. Okay, so if you're guarding a player off the ball, as a general rule, you should have your back facing that imaginary line between the ball and the basket. Okay, you should be closer to the ball than the person you're guarding. And how close to the ball is one of the things that you can decide as a general rule, about 1/3 closer to the ball. Okay, so if that's about halfway there, that's about 1/3 there. Okay, so that guy right now is in what I'd call a pretty good off-ball position. Okay, now the reason why you start closer to the ball than the player you're guarding, well, there's a couple of reasons. One is to stop the player you're guarding being able to cut between you and the ball, which I think is about the biggest breakdown in off-ball defence. Okay, so I'm you now, hop out the way. What's your name?
Wyatt.
Wyatt?
Wyatt, yeah.
Wyatt or Wade?
Wyatt.
Wyatt. So if I'm guarding Wyatt here and he can cut between me and the ball, just walk that way, that's to me about as big a breakdown that can occur off the ball. All right, and we'll see it in all sort of different scenarios, because now there's a free passing lane towards him. If he does catch it, I'm in really bad position to try and get in an good on-ball position. So lots of bad things that can happen there. But if I start a bit closer to the ball than him, and now he tries to cut between me and the ball, the point of my triangle moves as well, and I can stay between him and the ball. Okay, move away again now. So every time a point of this triangle moves, I should move as well. So try and cut between me and the ball again. So I just maintain that position of being closer to the ball than him. The other advantage of being closer to the ball is if the ball's passed to him, I have a chance of stealing it and picking it off. Okay? Try it back there. So this defensive triangle, again, some coaches will coach being your shoulders parallel to that passing lane, that imaginary line there. That's not wrong. I just find it easier to coach this back to the line between the ball and the basket, because you'll see it's relative to other aspects of defence, and it straight away puts that player in a position where they've got a chance of getting that pass. They can play a bit further off it if you're a bit concerned about this guy penetrating, or you can play closer to it if you want to put more pressure and make it harder for the other team to pass the ball. But it also makes it harder for you to maintain your defensive triangle the closer you are to that passing lane. Okay? The closer he comes to the ball, the smaller the triangle. So walk towards the ball. You can see I'm still in the triangle here, but it gets smaller. Now, you two guys just hop out the top over here. Now walk to the other side of the court, over here. So you see, as he moves further away from the ball, the triangle gets bigger and bigger. Okay? Again, because I want to be in a position, if he cuts, to anticipate that cut and be ready to move and stay between him and the ball. I want to be in a position where if the ball's thrown to him, that I can either make a play on the ball or get to a good on-ball position in time. And what I can also do is I can help the guy who's trying to guard the ball. All right, a common term in man-to-man defense is help and recover. Come back over here. So as an off-ball defender, he makes a great fake on 30 here, drives to the middle. I see that. I can come across and help and stop that penetration, allow him time to catch up. The obvious passes to my player, and now I can recover back onto my player. All right, so that's help and recover. Okay, and that's what an off-ball defender will do if they think the ball is getting close to the basket, because at the end of the day, this is what you need to guard, is the ball. Okay, it's all about stopping the ball going through that hoop there. That's actually the object of basketball. Stop the other team putting them through your hoop. That's your hoop. Okay, so that's our triangle. Again, the further they get away from the ball, the bigger the triangle. Now, just come over here now. This line between the ball and the basket becomes really important when the person you're guarding crosses that line. Okay, so you'll see now, just come over here, White. So I'm in a good defensive triangle here. Just walk straight along this line here, mate. I'm in my good defensive triangle, everything's good, no worries, I'm in great position. All right, stop. So now, mate, I'm in really crappy position now, aren't I? All right, what happened? Something happened. All right, well, I crossed that line between the ball and the basket, because that's the point where you have to make an adjustment to what you're doing. All right, so go back over here. So as he starts to make that cut and I get to this line between the ball and the basket, I can do one or two things. Keep going this way. Because I'm not going to let him cut between me and the ball, so I can make him go behind me and open to the ball and then get back into a defensive triangle again. Okay, that's called opening to the ball. Or walk this way now, I can turn my head, and that's called a head snap. Okay, and that's the adjustment you need to make if your player crosses that line or you hit that line between the ball and the basket. So again, walk this way, good triangle, open to the ball, back here, go back this way, head snap. And again, you'll see in each one of those situations I'm putting my hands on him and making contact because sometimes you don't need to see a player if you can feel where they are. And another thing, if he tries to, remember I said you never let the player you're guarding cut between you and the ball. If he tries to cut between me and the ball, I can hit him with an arm bar, which is legal. That's in my cylinder. Nice bent arm, and that will discourage him from cutting between me and the ball. And he's more likely, he can keep trying to fight me with this, and I can keep trying to shuttle him up here, or he might just decide, bugger that, I'm going to go behind, and now I can either head snap or open to the ball. So using your hands and an arm bar, again, is an effective weapon for off-ball defense, particularly as they get closer to the basket. Usually the only way that he can get between me and the ball is if he gets to my legs and gets past my legs. So I can use an arm bar, come there, to keep him away from my legs, okay, so that he can't get between me and the ball. All right, when is that a foul? And the ref calls it. That's right, remember that forever, okay? It's a foul when the ref calls it, okay? And the refs are all short, okay? So short guys can get away with anything, okay? Because they feel sorry for you out there amongst all those big guys. So you can hit people all you like, okay? You wouldn't do that though, would you? Yeah? Maybe. Yeah, of course you would. Okay? So that's the off-ball. Again, so that line, if he's out here now, come back over here, White. And I'm trying to guard him here, and now he goes behind me and cuts back door. As he approaches that line between the ball and the basket, again, that's where I've either got to open to the ball or I've got a head snap. So that line between the ball and the basket obviously moves every time the ball moves. Okay? Now the line is also important when you talk about post defence. So just come here on the wing. This would be the traditional stuff that would happen in a game. All right? Big guy posting up right here, and it's like, well, how do you guard this? What's the main teaching points? Again, it's that line between the ball and the basket. The defensive player needs to fight for that line. Okay, so as Wyatt's up here and he starts heading down towards this, I'm in a good defensive triangle, and he tries to get down to this line between the ball and the basket, I'm going to do all I can to stop him getting there in the first place. Try and get there. All right, so he's winning the fight, so now he gets on that line. I might come around and full front him. All right, if he gets a bit lower, well, then I might side front him and push him away from the line on this side here. Okay, so the first teaching point with post defence is don't let the offensive player get on this line because of the angles involved. If he's on that line and I'm on the side of him, if he catches it, he's a pretty easy drop step and on the ring. Come back here. But if I can just push him off that line a little bit, these angles all screwed up, and now because of the angle I've got a better chance on the ball. Now when he catches it, it's a smaller adjustment for me to get around and get between him and the basket. Okay, so if you can push him off that line, you give yourself a better chance of playing the pass, and also of being able to maintain position if the player catches the ball. All right, so throw it back here. So again, if I'm on the low side, for whatever reason, he's coming and chugged me down here on the low side, I should try and push him up the line, and so now it becomes easier for me to keep it out of there. But if he's bigger than me, stronger than me, and he gets on that line, philosophically you have to decide what you're going to do. All right, some people will say just play behind him, you know, that's fine. Some will say still play on the side. Some will say play on the front and don't let him get it. And if you've got 3 other players on the court in good big defensive triangles, that becomes a dangerous pass, because your off-ball defenders might have a chance of picking it off as well. All right, so that line between the ball and the basket is really important when we talk about post defence. All right, where's the other black guy gone? Who was guarding him? All right, over here. So here's a drill for just introducing that on-ball and off-ball stuff. You're on the wing over there with the ball. Throw in the ball. You're right here. You're right here. So we're going to play 2-on-2, just you guys are playing, all right? You're going to pass the ball, when I say to, you're going to pass it here, you're going to snap it there, and you're going to kick it onto him over here, all right? When he gets the ball, I want you to cut anywhere inside the key, just as long as you get 2 feet inside the key, but right now you're not allowed to cross this line between the ball and the basket, so you've only got that much court there to play with. You got that? All right? And then it's 2-on-2. Now you can pass it to him, you can drive, you can do whatever you like, and we're going to play. All right. When we finish, the red team will be the new defenders. Skins, you'll come in as new offense. Blacks, you'll go to the top there. All right. So you've got to make sure when he passes it, you jump to the ball, and you're a good defensive triangle. Where would you be right now if the ball was over there? That's it. Good defensive triangle. All right. All good. Let's play. Let's see what happens. Here we go. Jump to the ball. Move. Move. All right. Play. Okay, hold it. Remember, you're not allowed to cross that line between the ball and the basket. You lost vision on him then, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that again. So White, this area here, don't come down into there, just for the sake of right now. Right, here we go. Pass it, jump to the ball, jump to the ball. Here we go, play. 7, 6. All right, stop. What was wrong there? Didn't block out the shooter when he shot it. Apart from that, that was awesome defense. They shot it and missed it. If you do that every time, you're going to win, aren't you? All right. All right, rotate. Offense and defense. Skins, you're on offense. Blacks, you're at the top. Here we go. Good off-ball stance. That's it. Here we go. Pass. Jump to the ball. Jump to the ball. That's it. Good, good. Play. 7, 6. All right, hold it there. What was the problem? Mismatch. Come back here. Well, the problem occurred out here where he had the advantage. Come out here. This is where the problem occurred because he went after it and didn't get it, right? If he had got it, would have been just sensational. Okay, the other thing that I would say is there could have been a bit more pressure on the ball. Okay, if he can just stand there and pick passes, you know, you need to be up bothering him just as a general rule. Your best chance of guarding him is for him to get it out here. You don't want him going back there, do you? So you know, again, I'm not saying don't make a play on that, but if he catches it here, this is where the referee feels sorry for you. Look how tall he is. All right, so you can get up to him and smack him around and hit him and everything. There it is, you got it. All right, they're not going to call a foul. All right, rotate, offense to defense. In a stance off the ball. That's it, good. Here we go. Jump to the ball, jump to the ball. That's it, good. Good triangle off the ball, good. Play it, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Great defense. Rotate, here we go. I thought the guy here at the start could have used his arm bar a little bit more with his footwork. He was starting to lose control a little bit, but just kept, you know, it was sinking. He was doing nothing about it. That's where he just needs to have better footwork and keep the guy away from the basket. Ball starts over there. In a stance defense. Hey, hot. Good on ball defense. Get up and play him. Touch distance away. That's it. Here you go. Jump to the ball. Jump to the ball. That's it. Play it. Here we go. 7, 6. Okay. So I would say the problem is the footwork at the start here. Okay. That's where it, you know. So he had to be a bit more of a stance at the start here. Been able to move his feet a bit quicker and channel him down this way. Would have been a problem. So in identifying what we need to practice more, it's footwork right here and being able to contain the guy one-on-one. All right, now, and I'm just trying to show you the progressions of this drill now. All right, now, when you cut, you must cross this line. All right, so you're going to go anywhere into here and get the ball. All right, what are you going to do? Head snap or open to the ball? Okay, all right, beautiful. Here we go. Pass, jump to the ball, jump, pass. That's it, good. Push him behind you. Don't let him get between you and the ball. Go back again. So as he comes in there, do that to me, Wyatt. Just make that cut against me. So as, I'm you now, by the way. So as he comes into here and tries to get between you and the ball, you're going to push him, stay between him and the ball. Make him go behind you. Use that arm bar and stop him from getting between you and the ball. Jump, pass it, jump, jump. Don't get, that's it, that's it. Keep playing, here we go. 7, 6. Okay, come back here. Quick. So again, philosophically, again, that wasn't bad because he missed. Might sound like a stupid thing to say, but they're usually going to get a shot up. Okay, but if you can, by putting pressure on them, pushing them to where they don't really want to shoot it, get more misses, then you're in good shape. But perhaps what could have happened here, if you're in a good defensive triangle, when he started to drive, you could have helped, taken that away, kick out, and recovered back to your player. You could have done a better job footwork-wise as well, okay? Rotate offense and defense, here we go. Jump to the ball, that's it, good. Push him behind you, make him go behind you, good job, good job. Out here, that's it, good. All right, good D, here we go, rotate. Now, I couldn't ask for better than that. Push him behind him, contested against the pass. That was pretty good. Stance, get in a stance, here we go. Pass it, pass it, pass it. Push him behind you, make him go, see the ball. That's it, chuck him on the ground, keep playing. Beautiful. 7, 6. All right, good. Now, he was able to make that play because he was in a good defensive triangle. He hedged in, anticipated the pass, come up with a play. It's beautiful. Okay, rotate. Jump to the ball, jump to the ball. Push him behind you, stop. Again, you're letting him get between you and the ball. Come back over here. So just stand out here and watch me. You just stand out here and watch me. So as he starts to try and cut, you've got to, now he gets in here, you've got to hit him with your arm. Okay, make him go behind you. Okay, now when he goes behind you, now you can either play the ball or head snap. In the coaching manuals, it tells you off the ball to maintain peripheral vision, to see your ball and your man. I'm telling you, it's just about impossible to maintain that. All right, that's the, I know that's the dream, but the reality is you have to lose one or the other from time to time. And if you have a choice of losing the ball or your man, to me the thing you lose is your man, okay? Because usually the ball, if it's coming towards your man, you can see it coming. So if I'm guarding you in here like this, and I'm standing here guarding you like this, the ball might be coming and I know nothing about it. Whereas if I'm around here watching the ball, I can usually feel where he is, and now if he tries to throw it out here, I can still make a play on the ball, even though I don't necessarily have vision on my man. Okay, so philosophically, you have to decide what you're going to coach. My belief is if you're going to lose the ball or the man, you lose the man, and just keep vision on the ball and try and anticipate where that guy with the ball is going to throw it. All right. All right. Now the next stage of this drill. Did we rotate? All right. Now the offensive guy, you can cut wherever you want. Now you don't have to cross this line. You can go anywhere. Okay. Off the ball, we've got to maintain good triangles. Here we go. Play ball. Here we go. Pass. Pass. Play it. Here we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Box out. Pretty good. Rotate. Offense to defense. Pass. Pass. Here we go. Good. Good. Don't let him get between you and the ball, remember. Make him go behind you. Okay, now, come back over here. Again, in the big scheme of the world and world events, him going between the big guy and the ball here is not a huge issue, okay? Personally, I think, though, you need to stick to that philosophically of not letting the guy get between you and the ball. So now if he goes down the laneway here, either head snap or play him, again, you still have the chance of playing the ball. Okay, so as you can see already, just in a little bit of drilling we've done here, one of the hardest things to get through to players is that concept of not allowing the player they're guarding to get between them and the ball. There's a coach who used to work our camps many years ago named Jay Bremner, who was really great coach. And all he used to tell players was always be ball side of the player you're guarding. Ball side, which is the same way of saying be closer to the ball than the player you're guarding, but it's much more word efficient if you just say ball side, okay? And the good coaches have a way of doing that, okay? Have coming up with stuff like that. All right, so what's happening here in this drill here with these two guys is happening with the other three guys that are on the court as well. So everybody off the ball is in a defensive triangle, trying to maintain their triangle, trying to not make sure their player doesn't get between them and the ball, and if they're guarding the ball, making sure they keep between their player and the ball. If they're guarding the player of the ball and they pass it, jumping towards the ball into a good defensive triangle. If your player just caught it, jumping onto a ball into a good on-ball defensive stance. That's your goal, is to try and maintain those positions. It's almost impossible, all right? So don't get too frustrated if it doesn't work. At the highest level, it's almost impossible. And generally, if you're watching, watch an NBA or WNBA game and video, and pause it when someone gets an easy basket, you can just about always see it's a breakdown in an off-ball defensive triangle, or a breakdown in a player being able to move their feet and keep the player they're guarding in front of them. Okay, so it's usually something as simple as that, except they're bigger and stronger and quicker, but it's usually still the same breakdown as what you see in under 12s. All right. Now that's the quarter court. Now when we talk about full court man-to-man defense, all right, give me 3 reds and 3 blacks now. You guys can put your tops back on. Please put your tops back on. All right, over here, Keenan. You got the ball here, wide at the middle there. And then 2 guys at the foul line extended down there. So who's guarding this guy here? Who's guarding him? You got him? So blacks are on defense. White, you're at the centre line there. You're at the foul line extended down the other end. So now we talk about a full court scenario. Now the same things apply for off-ball defense. The players off the ball should be in a defensive triangle. Are either one of those two guys in a defensive triangle? No, it's a, I don't know what that is. It's an L. It's not a, all right. So you're cheating up the ball, cheating up, cheating up, cheating up. Good triangle. Again, position where you can see him and the ball. Okay, so maybe, again, think about, again, we've got this imaginary line between the ball and the basket. Their back is facing that line. Okay, far enough off the passing lane where they can still see their player and still see the ball. You know, sometimes you have to turn their heads, but the further they step back from that line, the better position they're in, and you're off in a defensive triangle. Now, at the under 12 level, if you're playing full court man-to-man defense and the player catches the inbounds pass here, you know, to me that guy down there is not even involved in the play, all right, because they can't throw it that far. Can you throw it that far? All right, all right, put some pressure on him. All right, show me. Oh, we're talking about a game situation here. Just out of interest's sake, see what you can do. Put some pressure on him, quick. All right. All right, so that's, and again, by no means is that an under 12 player. But what number 10 needs to think about is whether his player can catch the ball or not. If his player can't catch the ball, well, now you can cheat further up the floor. And this is where your full court man-to-man pressure can kind of become a little bit of fun for your team if they understand some of these things, all right? Because by him coming up the floor more means that you can play up the floor a little bit more as well. Because not only now does he have to worry about you picking it up, he might be able to pick it off, all right? You're looking at him, you're looking at Keenan, and the look on your face is, I dare you to throw it, Keenan. Just, I dare you. Come on, throw it. You gotta have the, are you doing that?
I don't know how to. Well, I
God dare you! If you're a little brother or sister?
A little sister.
Yeah, you say to her, I dare you to touch that biscuit, you know? Okay. Yeah, same sort of thing, all right? Same sort of look, all right? So you're here begging him to throw it because you're going to steal it if he throws it, okay? So if you're standing right back here beside him, well, he's not even going to try and throw it. So you're trying to find that happy medium where he thinks it can get there, but you know that you're going to get it, all right? And for everyone's a little bit different. I'm backing this guy here is pretty quick off the ball, tipping you're not so quick off the ball, all right? But I'm also tipping you're a much better rebounder than he is. All right, everyone's got different strengths and weaknesses, so the guys who are quick off the ball, they can cheat up a little bit more, take a few more chances. The guys who are slower off the ball, they've got to be a bit more conservative. But that there is the positions that they should be off the ball. Now, as soon as the ball moves, or as soon as their player moves, a point of their triangle moves, so they've got to make an adjustment. So, Wyatt, just walk to the other side of the court there. Guard him, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Keep going, keep going. All right, hold it. What's the problem? Remember, what's this line between the ball and the basket? What happens when he crosses that line? Yeah, you've got to again have your back facing that line. All right, now walk across there again, Wyatt. So, hold on, not yet. Go back there. All right, so you're in a triangle here. Now go. So you hit this line. Keep going, Wyatt. Keep going, keep going, keep going. That's when you should have turned right there. Okay, and that straight away puts you in a good position now. Okay? All right, so the further off the ball they can be, the bigger the triangle, the more up towards the ball they can be. And I say by cheating up here, again, you get all sorts of different ball handlers. Some are good, some are bad. This guy here can surprise the ball handler and put pressure on. So I'm dribbling down here, and I got my head down, dribbling the ball here. You might come and attack me, you know, and try and surprise me. I might put it in there, and you might pick that off. Okay, and we'll sort of look at a drill in a minute to practice those kind of things. Another thing I might do is be dribbling the ball over this way. You cut me off and turn me. Now I come this way, bang, you might come and get me again. You might try and pick that off. All things that you need to practice in a full court scenario, but by being in a triangle and by you practicing these scenarios a lot, and all you need to do is play 3-on-3 to practice the scenarios, you'll find that your players will get pretty good at anticipating things off the ball. All right? So what I want to do now is show you a good drill for practicing all that stuff. All right? So give me 3 more blacks. That's navy blue. And that's all right, money joke. You go, you're a sub for the red team, okay? So you just go down there and stand on the foul line down there, guys. So you guys go down there too. So this next drill I'm going to show you involves half-court defence and full-court defence, okay? And it's great for practising your offensive skills and your defensive skills. I don't want to get too far off track, but as you evaluate your practice sessions, think about how much one-on-one, two-on-two, three-on-three you're playing in your practice sessions. To me, that should be 95% of your time doing that stuff, okay? How much time you spend 5-on-0 running over set plays at under 12s, that should be 1% of your time, not the other way around. It's not the plays, it's the skills, and the skills they learn by playing one-on-one, two-on-two, three-on-three, court spacing, passing, shooting against defence, defending people in one-on-one or two-on-two situations. That's how you produce good basketball players, not by trying to out-tactic the other coach with some special play. You know, it's not, you know, the kids run the plays, but then they get the ball and they can't shoot it because you haven't practiced shooting enough. You've practiced the plays too much. Okay, but I get off point. I got a question over here.
Going back to your forward court scenario, your drill, I'm probably asking the obvious, but you were feeding, defence was feeding the ball from one side, pardon me, only.
Yep.
You're obviously going to be changing sides.
Yeah.
Defence isn't going to work both sides.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So I was just using that drill as an example of how you can introduce defending off the ball. You'll see in this stuff we're about to do now, we're going to play 3-on-3, all different scenarios will occur, okay? And I'm going to try and coach these guys like I would coach an under-12 team in running this drill here, okay? But just any questions about off-ball defence, if you're not sure about anything that I've said there. All right, we've got 25 minutes to go. Okay, down here. So blacks are on defence. I've got you right there. Who you guarding? All right, we're going, give me, you're guarding him, we're going that way. All right, you're over here, you're guarding him. All right, we're going that way. You're guarding him. All right, you're out of bounds behind, you're standing behind him ready to go. You're standing behind him ready to go. You're behind him ready to go. All right, you're a sub for the red, so you want to play? Yeah, let's go, come on. So just wait down here for when they come back. They'll be coming back in a second, then you're just going to sub yourself in. So we're 3-on-3, attacking that basket there. All right, so here's the game. Let's just walk down there. So we're coming down, we're playing. All right, you guys are playing great off-ball defense. Offense, you can do whatever you like. We're playing, we're playing, we're playing. You blow by him, go in and lay it up and make it. Beautiful. All right, blacks, now you have to inbound the ball. Reds, you can, black ball. Reds, you quickly convert to defense, match up. All right, blacks, now you've got to get it in bounds. All right, stop. All right, now you guys are bringing it up this way. Now, hold it right there. The rules for the offensive team coming back is they have to dribble it over the centre line. All right, they can't pass it over the centre line. Okay, which makes it a bit easier on the defence. Okay, but for the sake of the drill, it's a good thing. All right, so you guys have to dribble it over the centre line. You can't pass it. So what you can do is look to go and surprise him because your man's about to cross the centre line. If he crosses the centre line, he's out of the play anyway. All right, so now you can cheat up here. Let's say you throw it there, you don't get it, you might be scrambling back here. You guys got to dribble it over the centre line. Got to get it over. Got to get it over there. You've got 8 seconds to get it over. All right, now once they get it over the centre line, they can pass it to the other team that's waiting on the foul line. So pass it to one of these guys. All right, stop. Now the black team, you're off. Reds, you now defend this team, and they're coming straight back at you. Go. Good triangles off the ball. Here we go. Don't get between you and the ball. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Board it. All right. Match up, blacks. Quick. Play. Match up. That's it. Good. 8, 7, 6. Pass it. Blacks back on defense. Reds on defense. Sorry. Or is it blacks? Blacks. Here we go. Blacks. I screwed up at the start. Come down and play them. Here we go. Good triangles off the ball. Good. 8, 7, out of bounds. Your ball. Terry O'Connor's son. Here we go. Match up. Quick, in a triangle, guys. Play 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Pass it to Reds. Back on defence again, Blacks. Here we go. Quick. Hey, you're on. Quick. Good. Match up. Quick. Find them. Match up. Who you got? Good. In a triangle. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Ooh. Quick. Defence again, Reds. Come on, Reds. Quick, 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 quick. Match up. Match up. Who you going? That's it. Good. 8, 7. Box out. You got it, Reds. Go. Chase him down, Blacks. Blacks back on defence again. Match up quickly. Who you got? Hey, hey. All right, stop there, stop there. So you can already see some of the common things that occur in a game happen in that drill. Number one is communication. All right, you got in the situation where a team scores and they've quickly got to match up to the other teams, the three players should be talking. I got him, so they're matched up straight away. Okay? When they go down on defence and the ball's passed to Reds and then they've got to come back on defence straight away again, we had guys forgetting about that. So the team has to take responsibility and they've got to communicate and make sure that they know to match up. Instead of me barking it out, they need to be talking to each other about that. Now there was a few man-to-man defensive breakdowns there that I didn't stop, largely because I was trying to get you guys, just show you the drill first. But in a scrimmage situation, you can pick up mistakes. You stop, right? You should have jumped towards the ball. You should have been here. Right, keep playing. And the other thing, from an offensive point of view, so who's on offense now? Your ball. Throw it in, number 30, your ball. Stop it right there. Is coaching some of the offensive tactics that you need for playing against full court man-to-man defence. Okay, one of the biggies is about creating space for yourselves, all right? Because already these two are coming towards the ball and they've basically given themselves this area here to get open. Whereas if you went back there first, you went back there a little bit, they've straight away created a little bit of space, and the more space the offense can get, the easier it is for them. The less space the defense can give them, the easier it is for them. All right, so by getting good spacing offensively, you're putting yourselves in a better position. Now you've got some, because he's over here, getting ready to pick the ball up, so you should hold back there. As soon as he looks at you, now you should start to make a lead. Okay, but until he looks at you, you should stay away. The same view, if he can't get it there, and now he looks over at you, that's when you should start to make a lead. But give yourself some space first. Okay, now, let's say we've got it in, let's say it goes inbounds to you, number 10 here. Get in a don't go anywhere yet. Get in a triangle. You in a triangle? Again, where's the line between the ball and the basket? Closer to the ball than your man. Yep. Again, got that passing lane. About there. All right. All good. About there. All good. And again, if you want to play passively, well then he would get off here and start to channel him. He'd get back here. You'd get right off your man, and you'd all just, back up and let them bring the ball down the court. Okay. If you want to play aggressively, then he would get up and into his player, and this guy here would look for opportunities to surprise the ball handler. All right, so if he dribbles this way, go and get him, bang, and now you might be in a position to pick that pass off. Let's say it goes there and you don't get it. You now shoot over there, you're guarding him, and off you go. All right, and that's hold it right there. Now that's run and jump defence that, we're not even going to, I shouldn't even have shown it to you, all right? But you're going to face it if you've got a coach who is good at teaching this stuff.
Under 12, trying to teach them off a jump line, is that a difficult?
Sorry, say again?
Getting an under 12 player to learn off a jump line,
Yep. It's challenging, but I've done it with under 8s. It really depends on how much time you devote to it in practice, I think. I guess how well you coach it is challenging, definitely. I coached in the NBL for 20 years. It's hard in the NBL, it's no different. That's why you're crazy coaching. You're all crazy, okay? The other things that you can do from a full court pressure situation is you can have this player here, you know, all over this, making it hard for getting bounce, throw it here, throw it there. Like Mark Worthington, you know, in the NBL, he'll go and trap this and try and cause all sorts of havoc off the ball and try and create this sort of stuff. Come back here, Mika Vakona from New Zealand, like there's been, you know, guys over the years. The other thing you can do is you can just put him right back at the top of the three-point line there, and now the defenders are going to face guard, make sure they can't catch a chest pass. So I'm going to guard you now like this. So try and cut and get the ball. I'm just going to watch you because I know I've got him behind, so we're trying to make him throw it in the air, so the guy behind might be able to pick the ball off. Again, that's just two different things you can do from a full court pressure perspective. I know, talking to Timsy, what a lot of coaches do is they pass it in here, like under 12s, come here and guard that, is they'll just come and double team this straight away. I believe that happens a lot in under 12s, okay? And that's a smart tactic, okay? Particularly if this guy here just runs off down the court and you've got no one to pass it to. But this drill allows you to practice against all those kind of scenarios. All right, so I just want to drill at it a little bit more. So, Reds, you're 30, you've got it on. Let's here we go. All right, here we go. Play ball. Get in a triangle. That's it. Good, good, good. 7, 6, 5, 4. Pass it quick. Back on defense. Back, back, back. All right, stop. Go back to where you were when the ball was first changed over there. All right, probably better to demonstrate this in 5-on-5, but when your team loses possession of the ball, so you're going quickly from offense to defense, that's called defensive transition, okay? And there's some things that become real high priorities in defensive transition, all right? The number one priority should be to protect the basket, okay? So to stop the other team getting a wide open layup, okay? That's the highest percentage shot in the game. The number two priority should be to slow the ball down or guard the ball and try and buy the rest of your defenders a chance to match up. So what happened up there is you forgot to guard him, right? So he's off and flying. Hold it right there. These two guys are still guarding their man, all right? Their man isn't a priority now. They've just, again, converted on the defense. Because of his mistake, no one's got the ball, all right? Definitely no one has got the basket, okay? So you two quickly should assess, this is a fast break situation, we've got to defend here now. Which one of you do you think should guard the ball? Yeah, you're closest to the ball, so you should get to guard it. Who should guard the basket? So the perfect scenario, everyone just start walking. The perfect scenario would have been you get that, you sprint back and get the basket, you're sprinting down, hold it right there. He's got the ball, you've got the basket, keep coming, keep coming. Where are you two Reds going? All right, hold it right there. You're back here as a good defendant. What's your name? You're saying, Tom, take this guy over here. Okay. Tell him.
Tom, take this guy over here.
Yeah, now you got him, and now they're matched up. Okay, so they slowed the ball down, they protected the layup, and now they've got matched up. Now, it may not be the perfect matchups. Tom might be supposed to guard this guy here. And in the play, they might be able to switch players back again. But in a fast break defensive scenario, it doesn't matter who you're guarding, someone's got to guard the basket, someone's got to slow the ball down, and then the other priorities off the ball need to be guarded.
That's one of the questions I've got for you for the no zone rule.
Yep.
In full court press transition, as you said, first thing that you teach the kids is to protect the basket. How long have you got to get back for them to then, under 12 kids,
yep,
then scramble and find their man?
I think it's a common sense assessment, you know, like again, the rule is to stop this, you know, stop Tom standing in the middle, being a big lug and not guarding anybody. So when it gets to that point, that's when it's...
Tom's standing here and he's saying, you're here, you're here, you're here, and then he's picking up this post player. He could be there for 5-10 seconds.
He could be.
Everybody.
Yeah, and I wouldn't consider that to be a zone. I'd consider that to be defensive transition that is taking a little while to match up. You know, and again, if it happened every single possession when he's standing there, you know, then you might have a case. Get your little camera out, and off you go. All right, play from there. Go, play. Good, good. All right, hold it. Go back there. Go back here. This is a really important point that that we should consider as well. All right, is, do you need to help? I think this is a really important thing to teach your kids. Like, he started to come here. I thought this guy had him. All right, I thought he was going to cut him off, but you came right across to help. And what happened? Yeah, it was passed to your man, and he's now the one. Like, if you're reading, again, it's one of these things you've got to teach your kids off the ball, is if you see that he's got him, you can fake helping, but stay back. You don't need to come and help. Yeah. Okay, so that's just a read that you've got to get. So you need to help if there's a need for it, but you don't need to be drawn to the ball just because someone's driving or attacking the basket. The players need to be able to make a quick assessment as to whether that guy is actually going to be able to do anything. If they're not going to be able to do anything, then they should stay back and guard their player. All right, keep playing. Here we go. Play. 6, 5. Box out. Match up. Quick, Reds. Turn him. Turn him. Good job. Good job. Good job. Get it. Get it. Get it. Okay, stop right there. Stop right there. All right, that was awesome. Come back here. Stay, you guys stay with you. What does every big guy want to do? They want to dribble up the court, don't they? All right. So tactically, as a thinking basketball coach and trying to get thinking basketball players, what these Reds should have seen straight away is Tom wants to dribble it up. All right. And look who's guarding. Like, they're about the worst player he should choose to. But what now you two guys should do is see he's got the ball, is not let him pass it to anybody. You should now, don't worry about helping. I can guarantee you, I've never seen this guy play once in my life, but he doesn't need any help guarding Tom up here. All right, he's got that, okay? When we get down there, he might be in a little bit of trouble. But right now, he should be salivating about the fact that Tom's going to try and dribble against him. All right, so you guys let him off the hook if you just let him pass the ball to somebody. All right, so don't worry about helping. Just make sure your guys can't get it now and let him enjoy the moment. All right? All right, play. Here we go. Get into it. Get into it. Pressure. Catch. Get it. All right, good job, Tom. Catch up, Reds. Back on defense again, Reds. Quick. Who's got the ball? Talk off the ball. That's it. Good in a triangle. Good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Box out. Good. Match up, Blacks. Quick. Who's got the ball? Good. Back again, Blacks. Catch up. Good. Match up. Quick, inbound it. Who you got? Turn him. All right, he's passive. All right, good. Match up. Quick, back again. Good job, Tom. Good talk. Get back now, Tom. They got a layup coming. Good job. Red ball, inbound it. Here we go. Reds are still going this way. Match up. Good triangles off the ball. Good. Now back this way. You're going this way, aren't you? Yeah, here we go. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Inbound it. Quick match up, Reds. Good. Excellent. Catch up. Come and guard him. Good. Stop. You passed it over the centre line. That's a violation. All right, red ball back here. Blacks, you're still defending that way. Here we go, quick. Go. Match up. Box out. Match up, Reds, quick. Who you got? Come and get him. Good. Get it, quick. 5, 4, match up, Reds, quick. All right, stop. All right, pretty good. Come down here, guys. So give me 5 on 5. Blacks have got it, Reds on defense. 5 on 5. All right, so one black's off. Get one black off. All right. That's 2 blacks. Now what do you got? 4. 5 on 5, give me another red. You go red, quick.
Josh is still in on black.
All right, so anything, whatever, run around, like the, so again, one guy is playing on-ball defense, the other 4 guys are playing off-ball defense, trying to maintain their defensive triangles. And there's so many different obstacles that can occur that make that really difficult, okay? As you get up levels, on-ball screens, off-ball screens, double screens, just good cuts, great dribble penetration, And that's the challenge of teaching defence, is being able to guard all those scenarios. What I was saying before about defensive transition, a 5-on-5 situation, normally a team balance is made up of a point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, centre. You know, even at junior level, you've really got, usually you have 5 guys and there's a tallest one and a shortest one and everything in between, which is usually your balance of your team. And the big guys are usually the ones that rebound the most. The little guys are usually the ones that dribble the ball up the court. So Tom and you just come in here. Let's just say you're in here. You know, the game's playing, blah, 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 gets that ball, and it gets shot. All right, so blacks are on offense and the ball is shot. Okay? Just leave it there for a sec. This is where we talk about defensive transition. Now, I think it's wise for you as a coach to have, you know, some instruction on what your players do in this scenario. Okay, do you want all 5 guys going in and trying to rebound it? Probably not. Do you want no one going in to rebound it? Maybe not. Most coaches would say you want 3 guys to try and rebound it and 2 guys to think about getting back and trying to stop that easy layup from the other team. Okay? Some coaches will say, when the ball is shot, everybody who's above the foul line just gets back on defence. Everyone who's below the foul line contests the rebound. Other coaches will have designated players to do those things. You know, so they might say, you 3 guys are always going to rebound, you 2 guys are always going to get back. And you know, a common term is to have what's called a dog and deep. That is, one guy, when they shoot it, heads into the middle of the court here, another guy who thinks about getting back and stopping the layup. All right, so let's say the big kid from red picks it up, outlets it to Keenan, everyone's running back, that's your job to come and guard him and slow him down. Irrespective of who gets that outlet pass, that's your man. Your job is to protect the basket until Tom and the cavalry arrive, all right, and everyone quickly matches up and finds their player. Okay, so that's the concept of 3 guys on the glass, 2 guys protecting back. Just come back here again, just go back to where we were at the start. That breaks down, of course, if this guy is the one who drives in and shoots the layup. All right, now it's very difficult for him to get back and play that spot, okay, because you know, that's where the 3rd player needs to read that. So you see the point guard shot a layup, so instead of rebounding now, you need to become one of these 2 guys. You two will have a real quick conversation. What are you going to say to him?
I'll go back.
Beautiful. You go back, you got the ball. And now you got these 2 spots covered because the guard was caught under the basket. Another situation would be if the guard was caught you know, shooting it right over here on the baseline. It's really difficult to take that shot and get back on transition defence. Okay, so one of the other perimeter players needs to be taught to read that, see that, and instantly take his spot so you can protect against the layups. Okay, so one player slows the ball down, one player protects the basket, the other 3 players are scrambling back quickly and matching up, and usually the last guy back will head to the other side of the court to what the ball is on. All right, that's usually where the free player is, on the other side of the court. Okay, if you can get that in under 12s, you're doing a real good job. All right. Last thing, a good drill for practicing all these defensive things, apart from that 3-on-3 drill, I think that's a great drill, is what's called the shell drill, which is just, so black down there, black over there, black over here. Just you 2 guys come out the top here. Gets that ball? All right, so you guys are out of it now. It's just playing 4-on-4, so you've got 3 off-ball defenders, and you can slowly add rules to this. So at the start, no one's allowed to leave their quarter of the court. They've got to stay in their quarter of the court. Okay, so try and score, playing that way. Stay in your quarter of the court. That's it. So it's a good defensive triangle off the ball. You can drive though, you can drive. Force help, that's it, good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Ding. All right, throw it out, pretty good defense. Then you can introduce a little bit of cutting, where every time they pass it to the wing, to the corner, they cut and go through. Now you fill in and take his spot, you fill in and take his spot. All right, so now you've got to practice jumping to the ball and taking away those cuts. Let's do that now. Every time you pass it, make a give and go cut. Here we go, pass, cut. cut, get through, good, fill in, good, come in, that's it, good. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, all right, you can have 2 post players, 2 wing players. There's a million different things you can do, but I just want to sort of explain to you about that's what the shell drill is. Okay, just 4 on 4. If I was coaching an under 12 team, that would be my offense. Okay, I'd put these 2 guys at the top, throw us that ball. That's our offense. We're playing 5 on 5. We're passing and cutting, looking to dribble, penetrate, looking to take our players off the dribble. If you can teach under 12 kids those things, you're in pretty good shape. Okay, and all those things you can practice. You know, that offense, you can practice 1 on 1, 2 on 2, 3 on 3. You don't have to practice it 5 on 5. We can just play 2 on 2 over here, and we're actually practicing our offense. Okay, so it's not an offense that has cut here, cut here, cut here, like the shuffle or something like that, or the triangle. It's more an offense that is dependent upon the skills of the players. If 5 NBA players walked into the NBL and made a team and were playing the Melbourne Tigers on Saturday night, they'd go to the disco Friday night and they'd rock up to the game on the Saturday and they would just play. You know, they wouldn't have an offense. They would just play off their instincts because they would understand about court spacing. They would understand if they throw it into the post, how to move and give him space, the sort of spacing that should occur off the ball, the sort of things that should happen off dribble penetration. That's when you've got good basketball players, when they can make those good decisions, not when they can remember a set going from here to here to here to here. Teach them how to play basketball, okay, and how to defend basketball. That's the whole idea of not playing a zone, is learning how to defend common basketball scenarios. All right, round of applause for these guys here, please. Take a seat here, guys. We've got a few minutes. Any questions on any of those things or anything that I haven't covered? Did I do such a great job that if you didn't like me, you're doing a great job, did you?
I just have a question. It's under 12, you can't teach them all that at once in one training session.
Of course you can't, no.
Is there a progression that you do, like you teach them one thing first, then go into the next thing?
Yeah, well, the concept of manning up. Okay, I remember I was at an AFL game one day. I heard a coach yelling out, "Man up, man up," and I started using that with my under-8 team. You know, man up. You'll go here, and you know they get that concept. All right, they're all responsible for a player, and as soon as we lose the ball, that's the player you're guarding. Okay, so manning up would be the first thing that I'd be working on, and then in your drilling, playing a lot of one-on-one covers on-ball defense. You know, how you guard somebody, you know, on-ball, because there's nothing else. It's just one-on-one. So you don't have to worry about off-ball defense. And then at the same time, 2-on-2, and just start to introduce triangles. But the best, you know, the more you can play 2-on-2, 3-on-3, and refer to the triangle, refer to the on-ball stuff that you want, the sooner they will get it. But of course, you can't. It's not going to take one practice session. Like I say, NBL players who aren't very good at doing some of those things, and that's what coaching is. It's just it's a journey that doesn't seem to have a destination. Yes.
Is split line defence kosher? Because if it's done badly, it can be misconstrued as a zone.
Yeah, it's like a common term in basketball is the split line. Okay, that's the imaginary line that runs down the middle of the court. And traditional coaching would have Wyatt, come out here, over here with the ball. Traditional coaching breaks the court up into the ball side and the weak side or help side. You know, it's quite a common thing you'll see in coaching manuals. And this imaginary line, the split line, is a reference point for when the offensive team get the ball below the foul line extended. It's quite a common expectation to have anybody guarding players off the ball to be on this split line ready to help. So if he blows by his man, that these people are in good positions to come and help, okay? And at under 12s, because of the inability of them to really be able to hit the three-point shot well, you can give great help and you can get to the split line a little bit more. But I don't think the rule takes that out of play. You know, like I think, again, it gets back to that defensive triangle. If you're in a triangle, you know, I think this player just stands here, you know, and their player cuts through to the other side and they're still standing here, well then you've got a pretty good case for arguing they're playing a zone. If their player they're guarding moves up there a little bit and they're moving up with them and you can see that they're in a triangle and trying to maintain a good position, then you know, I think you're in pretty good shape. And again, I just keep getting back to the spirit of the rule, and I'm not saying you're trying to do something, but if you're trying to find a way of getting around the rules in this particular situation, it's a bit different to my hand check, you know, that's a good way of cheating the rules. I think if you're in the spirit and you're coaching, trying to make your kids better, you're not going to search for those kind of things. You're going to be trying to teach them about good defensive triangles and all the stuff that I've said is important to being a good man-to-man player. Okay, so hopefully the people you're playing against will do the same thing. You have a question?
In the half court, you've beaten off the dribble. You just encourage them to switch with the help and reset the triangle?
It depends on each situation is different. That's where you need to kind of come up with your own philosophy. If I'm guarding a player here and someone drives to the middle and I come across and help and now the ball is thrown here, it may be, you know, getting that full court situation where I was telling that guy to come up and shoot the gap and rotate. A guy off the ball might come up and guard my player because he might have tried to make a pass. And as you practice playing on 3-on-3 and 3-on-3 more, you'll see your players will get the instinct of being able to switch off the ball and take, you know, someone's got my player, so I take the next player. The only way you get that to a point where it's, you know, good is just by playing a lot of 3-on-3. And the more you play 3-on-3, 2-on-2, the more these kind of scenarios occur that you as the coach can then address and give your players real life experiences that in a game they're more likely to instinctively do what you're asking. Whew, that was a long sentence. All right, any other questions?